Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessing of Allah be with each and every one of us. I'm Mirza Mohammed. I'm here with my brother Azizul Mohammed at IBN for yet another program, Why Islam? Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Why Islam? Through the heart, eyes and mind of an ordinary man. Brothers and sisters, viewers, we would like to continue with the story of Yusuf. You all heard far about some of the problems Jacob and his sons had and how they choose to deal with it. So again, why Yusuf? Chapter 12 verse 7 says, Verily, in Joseph and his brethren are signs for seekers. Last week, I explained something about seekers, and the word the Quran used is understanding, men of understanding. Tonight, I would like to talk a little about the other word in this verse, signs. Chapter 12, verse 20 says, They sold him for a miserable price, for a few dirham counted out. In such a low estimation did they hold him. Brothers and sisters, what that brings to mind? What sort of estimation do we hold ourselves? High or low? What sort of estimation do we hold our wives, our husbands, our children, our brothers, our sisters, etc.? High estimation or low estimation? Most of the time we wait until we see them lying in a coffin in front of us. Then what we say? If I had only known, then I could have done so and should have done so. Brothers and sisters, don't wait until that time comes. When is the last time you call your brothers? When is the last time you talk to your sister? Are everything okay with them? Do you try to uplift them or do you try to bring them down? As you will hear in the story, Brother Azizul, inshallah, will talk something about those things. As I say, do we uplift them or do we bring them down? Did they eat last night or tonight? Did they eat this meal? Is everything okay with them? When's the last time you called them? Brothers and sisters, why did Allah reveal the story Yusuf for us? And so many other stories in the Quran and information. Yusuf are no longer with us. Yusuf brothers are no longer with us. Jacob are no longer with us. Why did Allah choose to reveal the story for us? It's for we to read. For we to read the Quran. And not only to read the Quran. It's for we to read and understand it. And again, not only to read and understand it, but it's for we to read and understand it and practice what we read. There lies the blessing. To practice. Brothers and sisters, did Jacob, when he see the signs, ignore the signs? No, Jacob didn't ignore the signs. So he knows. When we see the signs, do we ignore it? Why do we wait until it's too late then to realize we have a brother and sister and a father and mother and so forth? Why do we wait? We don't have time to go and visit them. Do we have time to call them? We don't make time for these things until, as I say, the line in the coffin, then you're leaving everything to go to funeral. Joseph didn't wait. Chapter 12 verse 33 says, Joseph said, he said, "Oh my Lord, the prison is more to my liking than to which they invited me. When he saw the sign, he rather go to prison than to indulge in what he was asked to indulge in. Brothers and sisters, would we rather to go to prison than indulge in adultery and fornication? Think about it. As I say, when Joseph saw the sign, he chose that. That is what he chose. Do we make that kind of decision? Probably when he called in segment start, you could probably answer that for me. Call us and tell us, do you rather to go to prison than indulge in adultery and fornication? And things even didn't went his way. He ended up remaining in prison longer than he expected. So brothers and sisters, we'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll go to Brother Azizul, who will continue with the story Yusuf.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I seek help in Allah from Satan the rejected one. In the name of Allah the Beneficent, the most merciful of those who show mercy. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallahu wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I bear witness and testify to the fact that nothing and no one deserves to be worshipped but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I also bear witness and testify to the fact that Muhammad is the last prophet of Allah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Our Lord, expand for me my breast. Make easy my task for me. Remove the knot from my tongue, that when I speak, they may understand me. Brothers and sisters in Islam, brothers and sisters in humanity, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon us all. Brothers and sisters all, last week Friday we end off in chapter 12, Yusuf. We end off in verse 23, which we will also start off back, chapter 12, verse 23. Brothers and sisters, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allah, the Almighty and the All-Wise, is revealing to Muhammad, peace be upon him, and saying, O Muhammad, you was not J, but I choose to reveal to you and tell you about incidents and events that happened thousands and thousands of years before your time. And Allah is speaking and telling Muhammad in chapter 12, verse 23, and she in whose house he was sought to seduce him, and made fast the doors and said, come. He said, Yusuf said, Allah forbid. Surely my Lord made good mine abode. The wrongdoers never prosper. Brothers and sisters, this is exactly how the devil operates. And here Allah is showing that with man, the negative and the challenge of man. So other words, what this Quran and the words of inspiration and guidance is all about, Allah is revealing to us human beings how we can overcome these challenges. And brothers and sisters, He is showing exactly what happened before, that we may choose to learn from those incidents that took place before. Brothers and sisters, how does the devil operate. Brothers and sisters, what did he did? One of the weakest points of man. He chose a woman. He chose to present a woman, one of the most beautiful women that lived in that time and era. A woman that brought up Joseph Yusuf, peace be upon him, from a young lad who see about him. And when Yusuf reached the age of maturity, that woman chose to be with him. But we remember also that that woman was one of the most beautiful women in that time and era. But brothers and sisters, what did Yusuf reply? He told that woman, you who bring me up, you who see about me, you who care for me. And woman, if I do what you want me to do, the wrongdoers never ever prosper. So brothers and sisters, Iblis, Shaitan, the devil, present to Yusuf one of the weakest points of a man. He presents a woman. But brothers and sisters, these are some of the challenges that we face in life. And if you remember from our second program, the devil presents the worst thing in the most beautiful way and form. And this is exactly what he is doing. He presents it in a beautiful way. And I want to ask a question. If that woman was Yusuf's wife, would he want another man to be with his wife? And this is reality. These are things we are face every single day. These are challenges we encounter every single day. No. Then why should I do it? Brothers and sisters, these are the challenges we are faced every single day, and we have to find ways how to overcome these challenges. But many of us, many Muslims, many people, many human beings, we don't like challenges. We run away from it. But brothers and sisters, challenges is what make us stronger, safer, increase our faith. And challenges is what make us into number one. And this is what the event and the history and the lifetime of Yusuf is going to prove. What challenges did with him. But brothers and sisters, when he refused to do what this woman wanted him to do, what happened next? Brothers and sisters, he tried to get out of that situation. And he headed towards the door. She chased him. She ran behind him. And what happened when he opened the door? Brothers and sisters, she tugged at his shirt. But when they opened the door, when he opened the door, they were confronted with her husband. The first thing that happened next is she told her husband, what is the punishment when someone wants to commit evil to your wife? Is it imprisonment or is it a severe punishment? Brothers and sisters, this is reality in life. The wrongdoer normally forced talk out, and that is exactly what she did. And then Joseph replied and said, no, it is she who tried to seduce me. So brothers and sisters, then Allah continued to relate the incident. And then her husband said, someone said, then, if it is so, then let us investigate and see exactly what happened. If Yusuf short is ripped from in front or chair from in front, then she is the one that speaks the truth and he is of those who lie. Or if his shirt is ripped or chair from the back, then he is the one that speaks the truth and she who tells the lie. So brothers and sisters, the next thing that we learn here is what? You do not accuse people falsely. And this is what the Quran is all about. Information. You need to investigate. You need to see. You need to ask. You need to inquire. And this is exactly what takes place. And when they check and they inquire and they see, his shirt was ripped from in the back. Then brothers and sisters, what happened next? Then her husband replied when he saw exactly what happened. The truth came into being. Surely it is a device of you, woman. Your device is indeed great. And brothers and sisters, this incident took place thousands of years before our time. And if you watch around in the world today, these incidents is the exact thing that are happening. So her husband inquired, and the truth now is out. But brothers and sisters, if you look around in today's world, many people support evil. The more money you pay a lawyer, what the lawyer do? He lie for you more. Truth is always there. But many people don't like the truth and are usually ignored. The devil works like this, brothers and sisters. The truth are always there. It always confronts you. And if you look around, and if you watch what is happening in the world today, the truth are there. But many times it is just ignored. People don't pursue it. People don't investigate it for some reason or the other. The devil has the ability to maneuver it, and nothing don't come out of it. And many of us lose hope when these things happen. And in the lesson of Yusuf, we will see what happened. It also happened. So brothers and sisters, this is a way and a fact of life. And many of us become ignorant to it. We cannot accept it. And to challenge it and to correct it, we end up with doing violence. We go to the extreme. And if we go again further on, we will see how Yusuf dealt with it. Brothers and sisters, so she husband continued to say, and Allah continued to tell us what happened. Said, "Oh Yusuf, turn aside from this." In other words, what she husband is telling Yusuf, Yusuf, it happened. Leave it there. Forget about it. Look over it. And oh my wife, ask forgiveness from Allah. You are surely one of the sinful ones. So we could see that her husband was a righteous man. A man that believed in truth. A man, when the truth came into being, he accepted. And brothers and sisters, one of the greatest lessons we have seen here, oh my wife, turn to your Lord and ask for forgiveness. Brothers and sisters, what happened next when the truth come into being? It is a reality in life. Many people cannot face up to truth. And when the truth came out into the open, this woman could not accept it. And it is a reality of life. What she did, she punished him more. And she find a way to suffer him more. What did her husband did, brothers and sisters? As we continue, and as Allah reveal, and as Allah tell us events step by step, she who played the important role. And we will see in life today that when the truth came out, the devil works like this. because she is now embarrassed. So she wants to pressure him more. And in today's world, we see that women normally dominate society. Normally, women want to dominate the home. Women want to dominate the family. And that is exactly what Allah is saying here. She is the one that takes into control now. So brothers and sisters, He allowed her to take control. And if we watch today's life, when she takes into control, he have no choice. And if we watch today's life, if man goes to oppose his wife, normally he finds himself in trouble. And she will want to embarrass him. Brothers and sisters, when I look at this Quran, brothers and sisters, when you look into this Quran, and we start off this chapter, Allah start off with one of the most important things that He ever revealed to the human being. And we narrate to thee, O Muhammad, the best of narrative. Where could you go in this whole wide world? Which library, which computer, which university? Where could you go in this whole wide world and get better information than this? Better instruction than this? Brothers and sisters, where? Which facet and way of life? A man will stand up and tell a woman, woman, no. If I choose to be with you unlawful, I will find myself in problem. And woman, you will also find yourself in problem. So he was also sorry for she. He also cared about her. And this is a very important lesson. He did not only care for himself. So now we see that the woman takes the dominating role. So brothers and sisters, when the other women in the city get to hear the news what happened, brothers and sisters, oh, they said the chief wife now is in love with her slave, with her servant. Brothers and sisters, and when she get to hear about that, she decide to invite them to have dinner, a lunch, breakfast. She invite them to have some food. And brothers and sisters, when she invite these women and them, she supply them with food, and she also provide them with a knife. So maybe the food that she provide for them need a knife to eat. So she also provide the food and a knife. And brothers and sisters, then she called out Yusuf. And she called out to them. So when they saw him, they deemed him great and cut their hands in amazement and said, Holy Allah, this is not a mortal, but this is a noble angel. Brothers and sisters, these people see Yusuf to be a great individual. But how come Yusuf, brothers that he grew up with for some years, could not see this greatness in him? This is exactly how Iblis, Shaitan, and the devil operates. How come his brothers could not see this greatness, and now these women are seeing the greatness in him? And this is how we human beings live. This is how we operate. Envy, hate, and jealousy. Very rare we look at the good in people. And this is what life is all about. Most of the time we ignore the good in people. We look at the bad in them. We look at attributes to bring them down. We never look at the attributes that will enhance them and enhance you. So brothers and sisters, then she told them the truth. It is I who tried to seduce him, but he remained firm. And if he does not do what I bid him to do, then he will suffer the consequence for it. She takes the dominating role. If he does not do what I want him to do, he shall certainly be in prison. And he shall also be one of the objected ones. So she continued to take the dominating role. Now she is more embarrassed. Now the truth is there out in front. So she wants to use force to convince him and dominate him. And today life, woman is like that. Brothers and sisters, they want to pressure you. And they use their position, they use their body, they use their beauty, they use their influence. And this is what Allah is revealing and telling us, brothers and sisters. These are how I, Azizul Muhammad, and my brother Mirza, this is how we see Allah's revelation. This is how we see through our eyes and heart. This is how we interpret it in our words. These are reality in life. When she is bombarded with the truth and the truth are out there, she wants to force him into wrong by pressuring him. And this is what life is all about. And this is exactly how the devil operates. He will pressure you. He will seduce you. He will force you. He will do all in his power to force you to submit to the wrong things. So brothers and sisters, some people are bent in evil. They know what is truth. She knows what is truth. But some people are bent in doing the wrong. We support the wrong. We like that way. How do we fight this? With war? With violence? Bad talking? Brothers and sisters, we will continue to see how Yusuf fight these things. And this is why Allah has revealed this, in order that we may learn from it. Brothers and sisters, this is what the Quran is all about. A message, a guidance, words of inspiration, that we may be successful. And this is what Allah is all about. This is what the Quran is all about. This is what Muslim is all about. And this is what Islam is all about. Guidance, information, in order that we may become number one. But how could we use these guidance and words of inspiration if we does not know it? And this is why Allah is saying, we narrate the best. And I, Azizul Muhammad, choose also in this time and era to tell you about it. Brothers and sisters, some of the greatest lesson in life, it is here. But we prefer get a BSc degree. We prefer get a master degree. And we allow our children 25 and 27 years to get a master degree in doctor, in lawyer, in biology, in science, in mathematics. But we will never want them to get a degree in this Quran. How could your child get a BSc degree in mathematics? Why does not then he have the ability to go into this book and get a degree also? He have that capability. Allah give him that. Allah give him that brain and knowledge. But he choose to use it otherwise. That is why he will get a degree in mathematics and law and doctor. We choose that for them. Brothers and sisters, what she told him, I will imprison him. I will suffer him. I will reject him if he does not do what I want. Brothers and sisters, what did Yusuf do? Retaliate? Did he fight her? Did he argue? Did he get a lawyer? And this is what life is all about, brothers and sisters. Yusuf did the exact thing that Iblis did. Yusuf did the exact thing that Adam and his wife did. Yusuf turned directly to Allah. Nowhere else. He chose to turn directly to Allah to solve the puzzle, to solve the torment. Brothers and sisters, he said, my Lord, the prison is nearer and better for me. My Lord, as a man, and if you leave me here, and if you choose to leave me here, if I stay among them, O Allah, I will want to be with them. He is pouring out his heart to Allah, and I will be of the ignorant. I will yearn towards them. I will want to be with them. I will fall into their trap. I will fall into the trap of the devil, O Allah. This is man. This is human being. And Iblis, the devil, will use it to his full advantage. He presents this woman in a room by herself. But Yusuf never went into no university. He never had a BSc, he never had a doctorate, he never had a master's degree. But he was one of the smartest human beings that ever lived in the face of the earth. And that is why he chose to tell that woman, no, I will fall into the trap of the devil. And this is what life is all about, common sense. And this is what your Lord and mine Lord, and the Lord of everything, the Lord that removed that sun and bring this night now. This is what that Lord is telling you. That Yusuf used the brain that his Lord gave him. He used the common sense. Woman, if I choose to be with you, you will lose out and I will lose out. And I will also lose out that home that my Lord prepared for me. I will lose it. Brothers and sisters, so now he is turning to his Lord, no one else. This is one of the greatest lessons, mommy and daddy, children at home, people, Muslims. Tell your children about it. Tell your children about it. Is there any other one deserve to be worshipped and seek help from than the one who creates everything, who guides everything, who nourishes everything, who sees about everything, who does not sleep, who does not get tired, who is self-subsistent, from whom all subsist? In thy hand is all good. Surely Allah is possessor of power over all things. Tell your children that. Brothers and sisters, Qalu inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Tell them, call that, tell them, announce to your children. Proclaim to them, tell your wife, tell your husband, tell your neighbors, tell your friend, that you come from that Lord, you come from that Creator. And one day, he will go back to that Creator. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, and this man stood up and turned to that Creator and said, my Lord, I prefer going to that prison than submit to what they want me to do. And oh my Lord, oh Allah, I as a man, and you know exactly how you create me. If you leave me among them, I will want to be with them. Prison is better for me. And brothers and sisters, that Lord who creates everything from nothing into something, who Yusuf turned to, peace be upon him, he answered Yusuf's prayer by putting him into prison. And brothers and sisters, children, mommy and daddy, if that happened to we, then we will say that Allah is punishing us. But we ever sit up and we ever lie down, do we ever take time off, brothers and sisters, to ponder upon how Allah operates, how your Creator operates? The one who produced a green grass from brown earth, and who caused water to pour forth from the barren desert. That when one of the greatest human beings that he ever created in the face of this earth turned to him, he chose to send him in prison. Brothers and sisters, this world is not mine home, and just a passing through. Treasures are laid somewhere beyond that blue. If heaven's not mine home, then Lord, what shall I do? And we human beings, we Muslims, we run away from challenges. But if we ever look and if we ever think for a split second, challenges is what will make us number one. And I could tell you, I, Azizul Muhammad, could tell you, I could stand up and tell this, I could sit down here and tell this whole wide world about Allah, about Yusuf, about Islam, about Muslims. But I could also tell you about challenges. It's easy to tell people. But brothers and sisters, the day you find yourself into challenges, and you look around for faith, you will never see it around. Brothers and sisters, this man stand up, and Allah is saying here, brothers and sisters, that he is helping Yusuf. And the best way Allah sees fit to help Yusuf by sending him to jail. But brothers and sisters, when Yusuf went into jail, what happened next? And your Creator, that created everything from nothing into something, continue to tell us what happened next. So brothers and sisters, at this point, we would like to take a break, a short break, and we will be right back in a few moments time. Brothers and sisters, we would like, we will ask control to put up the telephone numbers, and we will ask you if you have any call, any question, you can call while we continue. Right? So any callers we have, we will stop and pause, and we will take your call, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, if we look into this Quran, brothers and sisters, when Allah, in our second program, when Adam and his wife, peace be upon them, find themselves in difficulty and problems, and when they violate the command of Allah, brothers and sisters, Allah put them out of the garden. They choose, when Iblis suggests to them, they choose to follow Iblis. and they violate the command of Allah. Brothers and sisters, one of the greatest events took place then, and Allah cast them off. Allah put them out of that position and status. And your Creator revealed in chapter 2, verse 39, and He told them, He said, go forth from this state, all of you. Surely there will come to you from me, Allah, words of inspiration and guidance. And whosoever followed these words of inspiration and guidance, no fear shall come upon you, nor shall you grieve. And then in chapter 7, in Allah's words of inspiration and guidance, He continues. You shall go in oath for a time. Therein shall you live, and therein shall you die, and therein one day I will raise you back again to be judged. Brothers and sisters, mommy, daddy, children, I want this whole wide world to know that one day you have to go back to Him to answer. So brothers and sisters, I want to show you, and Allah wants to show you and me how He operates. He chose to send Yusuf to jail. What happened next? Allah are going now to narrate us. Just how Allah narrated to Muhammad, and Muhammad bring it now to us, I will want to narrate it to you in my words, how I see it, how I interpret Allah's messages. Brothers and sisters, when Yusuf went into jail, 2 youths also came with him, came after and met him there. But when they saw Yusuf, they told Yusuf, they said, Yusuf, we had 2 dreams. And they narrate to Yusuf what their dream was. One said he saw himself pressing wine. The other said he carrying bread and birds eating from his head. They say, oh Yusuf, can you interpret this dream for we? Why? Because we see you to be a good person. 2 persons, 2 prisoners, 2 people that are going in jail and in jail with him could see the good in Yusuf. But Yusuf's own brothers could not see that. So Allah is further telling us that. Brothers and sisters, Allah operates like this. Allah do things and send His signs in different form and fashion. He might send it through me, through you, through your children, through the neighbors, from the birds, from the trees. And in the end of this chapter, I will tell you, and Allah will further tell you how He sent His signs. So in the end of this chapter, we will come to that again, brothers and sisters. So another way Allah chooses to send His sign is through these 2 prisoners that come in prison with Him. And the first sign is to bring 2 dreams. And the second one, they see him to be a good person. They see goodness in him. So brothers and sisters, what Yusuf chose to do next? One of the greatest acts that a human being could do is what Yusuf chose to do next. Brothers and sisters, he chose to tell them about Allah. How much time do we take time off to do that? Talk to our children. Do we take time off to tell our co-workers when we playing at home, at work, or at play? He, a man, he is in prison. He is suffering. He is going through the agony of life, the difficulty of life, the challenges of life, one after the next. My Lord chose to send me in prison and jail. And yet that man chose to talk about that Creator. So he decided to talk about Allah, and he decided to talk about his religion, Islam. One of the greatest acts a human being could do. And brothers and sisters, he is telling them, listen to the words that Yusuf is telling them, some of the greatest words. And as I will always say, as long as I am here in IBN, I will challenge this whole wide world. Where could you go and get better information than this? Where could you go and source and get better words than these and better advice? All the psychology and sociology and psychosocial, all the science, all the improvement. There's no way you can ever go and get better information than this. So he is telling them, I choose to forsake the religion of others who are setting up partners with Allah. I don't want to be part of it. I choose not to be part of it. I am a person who choose to be like my fathers, like Ibrahim, my great-grandfather Ibrahim, my grandfather Isaac, Isaac, my own father Yaqub. I choose to be like them. It beseems us not to associate anything with Allah. It is not part of our life. We will die so. We will live so. That is not our nature. We develop ourselves. It beseems us not. We will never do it. And today I am telling this whole wide world what Yusuf stand up and say in prison. My Lord is one. And me and my family and forefathers, we are like that. We will dead like that. The challenges of life, the difficulties of life, whatever life brings towards us, we will never submit. We will never set up partners with Allah. And that man stood up in a jail, in prison. And Allah chose to reveal it to the whole of creation, to Muhammad, peace be upon him. And today I choose to tell this whole wide world what Yusuf, peace be upon him, one of the greatest men that ever walked in that barren desert of Egypt. I will dead so. If I stay in prison my whole life and suffer, I will dead so. Brothers and sisters, why? I want to ask you, mommy, daddy, children, why? Why that man could do that? And I will say it again. And I will put it in words like this. Why? Because Yusuf is saying the same thing I am saying in a different way. This world is not mine home. And just a passing through. Treasures are laid somewhere beyond that blue. If heaven's not mine home, then Lord, what shall I do? The day he closed the eye, this is what he is studying. This is what he cares about. The day I close mine eye and I forsake that Creator who created everything, who created that heaven, who provided that home for me, if I forsake him, the day I close my eye and leave this world, he will also forsake me. Brothers and sisters, this is what life is all about. And this is why Islam, the only religion in this whole wide universe, tell you about one God. the ever-living, the self-subsisting from whom all subsist. Slumber nor sleep overtake him, but he comprehends it all. And this is what Yusuf is telling those prisoners. It beseems us not to set up partners with this Creator. One of the greatest messages that we can tell this whole wide world. Brothers and sisters, then Allah narrates and tell us what happened next. Then Yusuf interprets their dreams. One of you will press wine, will be a servant for your Lord, or your king, and the next one, you will be crucified, and birds will eat out of you. In my way, Yusuf tells them that simply. He interprets their dream. And Yusuf also tell the one that he know that will be free. He told him, he said, when you are free and you go back to your Lord, to your king, to your ruler, tell him about me, please, in order that I may come out of here. And brothers and sisters, this is what life is all about. Trials and trials and trials and trials and difficulty. But we Muslims, we don't like trials. We don't like challenges. We don't like difficulty. Yusuf saw an opportunity. An opportunity presents itself for this man to come out of prison. But our greatest challenge and challenger in life come into play again. The devil. And many of us, the most hurtful thing in life is, many of us as Muslims, we fall for these challenges and trials. We cannot make it to the end. We cannot endure it to the end. And Iblis promised in our second program, Iblis promised, he said, oh Allah, I will lie in your path. I will wait and wait and wait and wait. And I will trap them. I will disguise the most bad things. And I will make it so presented, so beautiful to them. I will trap them. I will never give up. Iblis is saying, I will never give up Allah. Most of them you will find them unfaithful to you, disobedient. And most of them will follow me. And when the opportunity presents itself for Yusuf to come out of jail, Iblis, Shaitan, the devil, came into action again. He saw that opportunity. We need to tell our wife, our husband, our children, our neighbors, our friends. We need to tell them about that. We need to tell them how Iblis operates, how the devil operates, how the challenges of man presents itself, how he disguises things, how he presents it, how it comes from different form and fashion when we least expect it. Brothers and sisters, so he told the one that will be free, he said, when you go back to your ruler, tell him about me that I may come out. But Allah is telling this whole wide world, your Creator Allah is telling this whole wide world that the devil caused him to forget for mentioning it. And Yusuf stay in jail for a few more years. So brothers and sisters, at this point, we would like to stop, and we will continue in our next program. We would like to stop at this point because it's getting late now, And we will go to a short break, and then we will come back, and we will come back to Brother Mirza, and he will continue.
Welcome back to the program Why Islam. Brothers and sisters, I hope inshallah you have learned plenty information went out there, and we hope that you at least listen to us, pick up the book and find out and practice. So we thank you very much for your time and your patience. May Allah reward you for that. But it's sad to say that no one called to answer the question, to say if they rather go to prison than commit adultery or fornication. Well, anyway, next week, inshallah. So next week we will continue with the story, Yusuf. Inshallah, we hope to finish it then. So thank you very much. May Allah give us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we may be able to understand this beautiful religion, Islam, and the strength and patience to put it into practice. Assalamu alaikum.